When you say 50,000, if there's retail participation as well as institutional participation, what are you waiting to see in terms of the floodgates from institutional money? And do you think that we're getting closer to that at this point?
Sure. If we focus on the institutional side of the equation here, I mean, look, institutional ownership is still effectively 0%. So there's a lot of room for upward movement here. And the drawbridges for institutional pools of capital have just been lowered. So if we think about the rollout of these derivative products from LedgerX, from CME, from CBOE, this is only the very first round of products for a brand new asset class, right? So institutional investors that want to play in this market, even if they do, they're going to wait a little bit and either dip their toes in the water or just wait on the sidelines until they see that the products themselves function, even if they do want to play in the underlying market. So again, this is a first round of product set that's going to evolve and mature, and I think eventually become a deep market.
In terms of institutional participation, though, we need to see institutions participate in the underlying for your forecast of 50K to hit in the next year?
I don't think so. I think that there will be a natural trickle down from the derivatives products into the underlying. So I think that for now, institutional players are fairly relegated to the derivatives markets, just given that underlying spot Bitcoin is a little bit of an exotic product for most institutional investors.
What are your forecasts for some of the other coins out there? Is Bitcoin the biggest percent gainer according to your forecast, or are there others that we should be watching?
You know, I'd be most focused on Bitcoin in 2018. I mean, listen, I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen with price, and neither can anybody. But when I look out over the next 12 months, what I see is a significant supply-demand imbalance at current price levels that I think will have to force price higher, right? So if we think about the supply side of that equation, the majority of Bitcoin, again, is locked down with long-term holders. So there's not a lot of supply available, and meanwhile, we have this new uptick on the retail side. So again, according to a survey conducted at the end of October by Harris Poll, less than 2% of people in the States own any Bitcoin, but 19% of people have said they're likely to buy in the next 5 years. That would be a 10x increase in adoption just right there. And if we double click and zoom in on that 19% number, again, 32% of millennials indicated they are likely to buy Bitcoin in the next 5 years. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, when I think about what are likely good indicators of future technology trends, I pick younger demographics over older demographics every time. So again, I think there's a strong potential on the retail side as well on the institutional side. Now, that's not to dismiss other coins that are in the market today. It's just that at current valuations from where we are, I'd like to see more traction in the actual market for any of the other coins before getting really excited about current valuations.
A call for Bitcoin 50,000 is a tremendous one, Spencer. At Blockchain Capital, you guys also invest in companies. You've invested in, what, more than 42 companies, including Coinbase and some of the cold storage companies out there as well. If you had to put $1 to work in either a company using the blockchain technology or the cryptocurrency itself, what's the better bet in your view?
We do both, actually. So again, we invest in the equity of companies and in the tokens. And so, you know, it really remains to be seen. I mean, there's certainly a fat protocol thesis that suggests that a lot of the value accrues to the underlying protocols like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, et cetera. But I think that there's a strong counter thesis that there's a lot of value accruing to the businesses built on top of these networks. So the Coinbases of the world, the Ripples of the world are actually worth very significant sums of capital right now.
Does Coinbase's valuation, in your view, go down the more and more outages it sees, or the more allegations of insider trading exist out there? I mean, are you worried that perhaps millennials, which are a distrustful lot, as I understand it, themselves, you know, you get frustrated when you have to wait to transfer money from your bank account into a Coinbase account for it to take days to clear in an environment when it takes minutes to clear any transaction out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I mean, outages are obviously not a good thing. It's certainly not what Coinbase is vying for, nor with the experience that they want to create. Now, that said, we should be reminded that these outages are a direct result of very large trading volumes, very large new account openings, and in general, just a lot of interest from new users on the platform. So again, it's an indicator of success, I would say, as opposed to a harbinger of its downfall.
All right, Spencer, we're going to leave it there. Thanks a lot for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Bogart of Blockchain Capital.
Well, look, I mean, as of December 10th, most people thought Ripple was a great song by the Grateful Dead at 23 cents, and it's now 3.17.
Guy still thinks that.
And it's half, you know, look, it's half the market cap of Bitcoin. So, I mean, Spencer's thesis is that, first of all, larger pools are going to attract larger pools or larger players. And so far, I think that's largely true. I mean, a 3 times Bitcoin gets you to 50 grand, whereas a lot of these things are doing 3 times in a couple days. So clearly people are rolling down, I think, with a lot of their investments and are putting a portfolio effect. But as he said, those that are building on top of the platform seem to be the ones that actually are more valuable, and I would agree.
Did he answer your question whether or not it was the technology or the Bitcoin?
That they do both. So
right,
they weren't
but
going to say.
They've
got funds.
You almost ought to put him in the would you rather sort of category, because I don't think that he really answered that. He kind of stayed ambivalent on that.
He wants to do both. He doesn't want to bet on the
have
coin.
a preference.
He doesn't want to bet on the coin. He wants to bet on the technology. And Overstock is the way I play it. Everyone looks at this as an e-commerce business. It's up 12% year to date. It was up 10% just today. I think that people, once they start getting a whiff of Overstock, this is going to be over $100 in the name easily.